in this book is that in this part of the book, you know, Beth has just come home and she's in her pajamas and, she's getting ready to go to bed and she sees Wrath. And she's like, oh my gosh, who's this guy in my house? Okay, so, Okay. Here we go. Where's a good place to start? Okay. We're gonna start here. Beth's neck jacked back up as she met the man's steady, feral gaze. She couldn't see the color of his eyes through the glasses, but his stare burned. And then the extraordinary happened. As he stopped in front of her, she felt a blast of pure, unadulterated lust. For the first time in her life, her body got wickedly hot. Hot and wet. Her core bloomed for him. It was chemistry, she thought numbly. Pure, raw, animal chemistry. Whatever he had, she wanted. I thought we'd try this again, he said. His voice was low, a deep rumble in his solid chest. He had the sliver of an accent, but she couldn't place it. Who are you? She breathed in a whisper. I'm here for you. Dizziness made her reach out for the wall. For me? Where? Confusion closed her mouth. Where are you going to take me? To the bridge, where he tossed her body into the river? His hand crossed the distance between their bodies, and he took her chin between his forefinger and thumb. He tilted her face to one side. Are you going to kill me fast? She mumbled. Or slow? No killing. Protection. As his head bent down, she told herself she would fight him in spite of his words. She needed to get those arms of hers working, and legs too. Trouble was, she didn't really want to push him away. She took a deep breath. Good heavens, he smelled fantastic. Fresh, clean sweat. A dark, masculine musk. That smoke. His lips touched her neck, and she heard him inhale. The leather of his jacket creaked as his lungs were filled and his chest expanded. You're almost ready, he said softly. And it's coming fast. If the it he was referring to had anything to do with her getting naked, she was totally on board with the plan. My God, this had to be what people talked about when they waxed poetic about sex. She didn't question the need to have him inside of her. She only knew that she was going to die if he didn't take his pants off. Now, Beth reached out, curious to touch him, but when she let go of the wall, she started to fall. In what seemed like one motion, he put the cigarillo, I don't know what it is, between those cruel lips of his and caught her easily. As he swept her off the floor, she leaned into him, not even bothering to put up a pretense of fighting. He handled her as if she were weightless, crossing the room in 2 strides. When he laid her down on the futon, his hair fell forward, and she lifted her hand, touching the black waves. They were thick, soft. She put her palm on his face, and though he seemed surprised, he didn't pull back. God, everything about him radiated sex. From the strength in his body to the way he moved to the smell of his skin. He was like no man she'd ever come across before, and her body knew it just as clearly as her mind did. Kiss me, she said. He hovered over her, a silent menace. On impulse, her hands went to the lapels of his jacket, and she tried to pull him down to her mouth. He captured both of her wrists in one of his hands. Easy. Easy? She didn't want easy. Easy was not part of the plan. She struggled against his hold, and when she couldn't get free, she arched her back, her breasts straining against her t-shirt, and she rubbed her thighs together, anticipating what it would feel like to have him between them. If only he'd put his hands... Sweet Jesus, he muttered. She smiled up at him, relishing the sudden hunger in his face. Touch me. The stranger started shaking his head, as if he were trying to clear it. She opened her lips and moaned in frustration. Pull up my shirt, she arched again, offering her body to him, dying to know if there was something even hotter inside of her, something that could something he could bring out with his hands. Do it. He took the cigarillo from his mouth. His eyebrows were drawn tight, and she had some vague thought that she would be terrified. Instead, She brought her knees up and lifted her hips off the futon. She imagined him kissing the insides of her thighs, finding her sex with his mouth, licking her. Another moan boiled out of her mouth. Now, guys, I haven't even got to the good part yet.